Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream. We're having a few technical problems at the moment getting Mickey on, but I think I've got him on, and I'm going to try and bring him in now. So let's see if that's working. No, that's not working. Hang on. Oh, I love it when I have technical problems like this. So bear with me. Okay, got it. That should bring him in. So let's try that. Yes, there he is. Right, let's make me smaller. Let's make me smaller. I've still got his audio to come on, but I'll correct that in a minute. Let's just get me smaller so that we can sort that out. Oh, right, okay. Make me smaller so there's room for a pair of us. There we go. Right, that's me made smaller. That should do it. Right, let's bring in Mickey's audio. So hopefully people should be able to see you. Here, say hello, Mickey. No, I said say hello, Mickey. You just said hello. There we go. Hello, Mickey. Oh shit, Mickey. Can you shut your you've got a browser window. One of your browser windows has still got audio on it. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. I've sorted it. Sorry, got to be careful. If you've got a browser window open, it's got audio on it. I get feedback, but I've sorted that out. Right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, Mickey. We're there. We're there, mate. We're there. Good evening, Harry Fields on YouTube. And good evening, Creamiest Puss there on Reddit. So I can see you, so I'm not ignoring you. I can see you. Just like I said, I'm just having loads of technical problems as usual. Ah, oh, these streams run perfectly. Right, Mickey, can you hear me all right now? Right, good. Oh shit, I've got bloody. Hang on. That's it. Right. Oh, I had to open up another browser window just then. Right. Okay. What are we doing? Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. This is so professional, Mickey. This is so professional. We've got 5 watchers on. We've got 5 watchers on Reddit, and we've got 3 watchers on YouTube. But I'm still trying to make sure that I've got you in the centre of the screen. So just bear with me for a minute. That looks a bit better. Right. I want to talk seriously about something tonight, Mickey. I really want to talk seriously about something that affects you. What people don't know, what people may not know is, because I don't think we've explored it too much, is you've got COPD and you're immunocompromised, don't you? Yeah. And you just had COVID, haven't you? Okay. What would you say if I told you there was a drug that could have stopped you from having COVID in the first place? Yeah. Yeah. Evusheld. It's available in America. It's available in Canada. It's available in Australia. Hang on, Mickey. Somebody says that Mickey's audio isn't working. So let me try that. Mickey, can you say something?
I can say something.
Right. Hopefully, Mickey's audio should be working now. If they're not, let me know. It should be working. Everything here says it's working. Oh, hang on.
Blob of wax out your ear.
All right, it's working now. MM, thank you, MM there on YouTube. I do appreciate that. So yeah, Evershield. It's available in Europe. It's available in Australia. In fact, Kuala Lumpur are going to start rolling it out, but it's not available here in the UK. Yet it's been authorised for use in the UK since the 17th of March of this year. Yeah. I suspect the hold up is because if we I'm a bit of a cynic, right? And I've got no evidence for this. This is purely anecdotal, right? I've got no real evidence for this. But if you remember, at the start of the COVID pandemic, a lot of Tory MPs' relatives made a lot of money out of PPE.
Oh yes, don't we? Don't well, or non-PPE, as the case may be.
Indeed, non-PPE, as the case may be. So, being a bit of a skeptic, being a bit of a cynic, I think that we haven't had it in the UK because at the moment, their brothers, uncles, or whatever aren't making any money out of it.
Well, that wouldn't
Or am I
surprise me
being, or am
either.
I
Yeah.
being too much of a
No,
cynic?
I don't think you're cynical at all. I think you're absolutely right. Um, yeah, but hopefully things will change very shortly. The way things have gone this week.
Yeah, but I just couldn't believe when I heard about it. I just couldn't believe it at all when I heard about it. But that's not happening. Good evening, Reddit. We've got two watchers on Reddit. We had five. We've now gone down to two. So we're losing out on Reddit quite badly. So normally we get a lot more on Reddit than that, but we're down to two watchers. So I have no idea what's going on there. Just firing up my YouTube page. So that's it. That's the YouTube page up, and just firing up my Twitch page. So I'll make sure that Twitch
Yeah, I
is
don't have
online
Reddit.
because
I don't have a link for Reddit, mate.
if you hang on 1 second, I will give you a link for Reddit. I forgot. It's because we didn't get going at first. Did you watch Monday's stream?
Did I?
Yeah.
I saw most of it. Yeah. Not at the time, but I watched it the following day.
All right. So you saw Jason desperately trying to get round my house to take a shit in my toilet.
Oh dear.
There's something very wrong with that man. There's something very, very wrong with that man. I can't believe he was that desperate to come round to my toilet to have a shit in it. There really is something wrong with that man. Oh, there really is something wrong with him. Right, that's the Twitch page up. That's Reddit up. Right, let's send you a link to Reddit. The link to Reddit is coming over. I'll send it on Messenger for you, Mickey.
Yeah, all right, mate.
But as I say, at the moment, there's nobody on Reddit. There was just two people on Reddit, and now we're down to there's three people on Reddit now. So hello Reddit. We picked up an extra viewer on Reddit. Right. What the fuck are we? There we go. Right. Okay. Here's the link for Reddit. Sorry, it's a long link. Right. While we're doing that, we've got the beer de jour. Have you got a beer?
No. Well,
You haven't got a beer.
no. We're on Tetley's tonight, and it's not Tetley's ale. I'm afraid it's Tetley's tea.
Oh,
Oh, shit, and I'm
you haven't
spilling it
got a
all
beer.
down me. No.
You haven't got a beer. Right. Okay. Well, I should do the beer de jour. Well, let's do that. Right. Now, beer de jour. I've got this, which is a Lithuanian beer. My mate's got a Lithuanian supermarket nearby, and he bought this round on Tuesday when he came round. He bought this round. But I can't tell you anything about this beer because it's in Lithuanian. It's called Vilnius, which I believe is the capital of Lithuania.
It certainly is. I've got friends that live out there.
Okay, and
Used to work with them. They went back when we left the EU. They decided that they'd be better off back in Lithuania than here.
yeah, we didn't really leave the EU because I noticed we were still in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Well,
we were
exactly
voting.
that, and the European Cup, and God knows.
Yeah, I thought we were voting to leave the Eurovision Song Contest. I was cold. And I noticed we're still 22 miles off the coast of France, so we haven't left the EU at all.
No, not really.
I don't speak a word of Lithuanian, right? I don't speak a word of Lithuanian. All I know is that in English it says light unfiltered beer, alcohol 5.2%, and that's it. It's all in Lithuanian, so I've got no idea. But let's give it a go. It's one of these screw tops. I've never opened fucking screw tops. Oh yes, we've done it. I've opened a screw top. Let's give it a try. I'll tell you what, that's not bad. Not bad. It's I'll tell you something else. In this room right now, It's 33 degrees centigrade. Um, which is, I am sweating my tits off. I am absolutely sweating my tits off, Mickey. What about you?
It's not too bad here. I was sat here with the back door open, little bit of a breeze coming in the back, so yeah, I'm fine.
Now that you said you're sitting there with the back door open, I can accept that you actually mean the back door to your house. If it
Well,
was Jason, he said he was sitting there with the back door open, I'd be extremely worried.
yes, exactly that. Yeah, I can imagine that with Jason. To be fair,
I've, uh, I've, uh, I've got a fan. I'm actually in my room. I'm in a box room, and it's 3 meters by 2 meters, and I've got the door shut. And because it faces out onto the street, I've got the blind down. So because I've got very powerful studio light in there shining on me, and I've got the blind down because I don't want the entire fucking street knowing what I'm up to. I don't mind screaming to complete strangers all over the world, right? But I don't want the people across the road to see what's going on. So I've got this fan blowing on me. I've got a fan on the wall up there. It's kicking it out on full speed. It's blowing on me, and I've got another fan down there. And I've got another fan up here. So just to keep the temperature down, but it hit 29 degrees at 5 o'clock. It hit 29 degrees outside, which for the UK is extremely hot. And I gather we're going to get even hotter, Mickey.
yeah, we're supposed to have a heat wave next week, carrying on throughout the week. I think I retired at the right time, to be honest, Steve.
Well, well, now you brought that up. That's what I was gonna come up to. I was gonna ask you if you'd retired and
Yeah,
how your
Wednesday.
retirement's going, and are you bored shitless yet?
Well, I retired Wednesday, and I'm just catching up with my sleep and what have you, because as you know, I used to work nights. So I think it'll probably hit me sort of Monday, Tuesday next week. I'll be bored with my fucking head, I think.
Did you get a nice retirement present?
No. Absolutely fuck all. Hey?
Nothing, not even a gold watch or anything like that, or a gold fountain pen.
No, fuck me, not even a fucking card, nothing.
Oh,
But
were you Billy No Mates at work?
probably.
Did you get on with anybody, or?
Yeah, I got on with quite a few people, but to be fair, I got one card off a couple of people, a married couple that working in it. But you got to bear in mind that when I'm at work, where I work, I'm actually working on my own, so I don't see in a 12-hour shift. I don't see many people.
Okay.
So obviously, although the factory's got 200 people in, I'll probably see about half a dozen people a night if I'm lucky.
Oh, okay.
Which suits me. Well, I mean, I ain't got to do it anymore, so it's all good.
Yeah. Well, when I retired, within 2 days, I was bored shitless.
Yeah, I probably will be by the end of the weekend, I reckon. See, because at the moment I'm on what would be my normal off days. It's not until Sunday when I'm supposed to return to work that it'll probably start to hit me, I think. But we'll see.
Well, pardon me, yeah. It's extremely quiet out there on Reddit at the moment. That's surprising. Very surprising. Maybe everybody's out enjoying the heat. Maybe it's not the UK that's having this lovely heat. God, I'll tell you what, I could do with doing this naked. I'm not going to.
Oh, please don't. I saw your fucking shorts last week. That was fucking bad.
I've still got the same shorts on. They've been washed since then, but I've still got the same shorts on. So, I've still got the same shorts on, so I'm wearing my shorts. It's actually a pair of Umbro football shorts. Part of an England kit that I bought before I turned into a fat bastard. Speaking of England, have you been watching the women's football?
I saw last night Ireland get their ass kicked.
Oh, Norway, Ireland, yeah.
I saw that last night, but I didn't see the one night before, obviously, because I was at work. So.
All right. Well, I've never really sat down and watched women's football. But I watched the England-Austria game, and do you know what? I was really, really impressed with the standard of football.
Oh yeah.
I was very impressed. It was about 5 minutes after kick-off. I forgot they were women. I actually forgot they were women. I was just admiring the beauty of the football. And I'll tell you what, there's a bit of a difference between the men's game and the women's game in that the women's game flows a lot more
It does.
because
Yeah.
there's none of these dramatic dives and tackles.
And there's none of this running up to the referee and screaming in their face either.
No, none of that.
I tell you what, I saw a while back. One of these, I forget who it was, but it was a woman's match, and the referee was actually mic'd up, and you could hear everything that she was saying to the players. Now, I think that should be in the men's game.
I agree.
And then you cut out a lot of the arguments and what have you, I think, from people who are spectating, because they do it in rugby, they could do it in football just as easily.
I agree. I agree, but the one thing that did strike me is how little oh, I've got another fan. I need to turn my other fan on.
Fuck me, Woody's got 2 fans.
3 fans now.
Oh, 3 fans. Right. I wasn't talking about them things that whiz round.
Hopefully they're not interfering with my microphone too much.
It's Tyson. Tyson's turned up. Good evening, Tyson.
Good evening, Tyson. Yes, good evening, Tyson. How are you? But like I said, the thing that impressed me the most Mickey, was the fact that when they did have a foul, there was no drama.
Yeah.
And what would actually knock a male football player off of his feet didn't seem to faze the women. They just carried on. And these are the same sort of tackles and the same sort of fouls that are happening in the men's game.
Yeah.
But because we didn't have any of that drama, it made for a very fine game. And I was very, very impressed with the level of football. Very impressed. And I also understand all the favourites to win.
Are we?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so somebody told me the other day that we're very highly rated, the women's football thing. So I think the next match is on Monday. If the next match is on Monday and it clashes with my stream, tough shit, Jason, I'm watching the football.
Have you got Jason back on Monday, have you?
Yeah, I said I'd have him on a Monday. But,
yeah, I'll be able to watch Monday. I'll take the piss on Monday then.
All right. I might have to pair of you on.
Oh.
I was going to, Greg wanted to come on. I was going to have you and Greg on today, but unfortunately he's had a bit of an accident. His face is swollen, so he...
right. I thought Tracy was going to come on.
Yeah, I thought Tracy was going to come on as well, but like Greg, she's making excuses.
Yeah.
No. So, but it's a football. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might actually have the football on. I've got another monitor. I've got another PC here. I might actually have the football on and watch the football on streaming. That might solve the problem, mightn't it?
Yeah, we'd all listen.
And then Jason can talk his bollocks all he wants, and I'll shoot. Oh, Tyson, my friend, what's it on me? What's the weather like there up there in Lincolnshire? It's been 29 degrees down here in London. What's it been like up there in Lincolnshire? I forget where Harry Fields, if you're still there, what's the weather like where you are? Also, MM as well, if you're still there, what's the weather like where you are? Let's have a quick rush round. Very hot today, yeah. Almost 30. And that's Lincolnshire. That's not bad because normally when you get up that far, it's
just up the coast from us. We got Norfolk and then Lincolnshire.
Oh right, okay. So
we got Suffolk, Norfolk, Lincolnshire.
Okay. Once we get past Watford, Mickey, my geography's not too hot.
No.
So have you enjoyed yourself today, Ty? You've been out there sunbathing. Have you been out there sunbathing, Tyson? I've got to keep out of the sun. I'm on some antibiotics that actually say I'll avoid sunlight, so I've got to keep out of the sun while I'm on them, which is not very fair. What about you, MM, or you, Harry? What's the temperature like where you are, if you're still there? 34C here. Whereabouts are you, MM? Just out of curiosity. Stateside East Coast, right? Okay. What? Stateside East Coast. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, MM. Oh, Tyson, that's something that I didn't want. That's an image that I don't want. That is an image that I definitely don't want.
Oh, Gordon Bennett, no.
Mm. Yeah, I don't blame them for asking you to leave the local park. I don't blame them at all. Ah. Oh, I don't blame them. Man, stateside East Coast, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon there, is it? Oh, 5:10. All right, 5:10. I wasn't far out. Yeah. So yeah, that's not bad heat. We are threatened with that sort of heat coming up in the next couple of days. We're in the middle of well, they've threatened us over here in London with a heat wave, and they reckon we're going to hit. We reckon we're going to hit 30, 34, 35 by Sunday night, and 25 there, mostly in the Midlands.
Oh,
Okay.
Harry's in the Midlands. Good
Yeah.
old Midlander.
I was up in the Midlands. I was up in the Midlands.
Last Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was up in the Midlands over the weekend, Harry. I was in Minworth in Birmingham. Anywhere near you? Is this in relation to Is this in relation to abortion? Is that what you're talking about? Because it's certainly not it strips your rights to guns. But is that in relation to abortion? You're making that up about or saying that about? I've sort of been reading it, and I'm not too hot on it. It's because we've got completely different laws here. I think obviously I don't know that much about abortion because I've never had to have one, but I believe that up until about uh, 32 weeks, a woman can choose to have an abortion. 32 or 38 weeks, I think. You know, Mickey,
What?
what the legal limit for abortion in this country is.
I have no idea. Never had to go across it, to be fair.
No, that's what I mean. I haven't, but I think you can have. Or is it 42 weeks? It's something like that. So, because in America, apparently the women can't decide. I might have got it wrong because I don't really take that much notice because I'm not American and I'm not in America. But if I've got it right, um, abortion now, yeah, abortion now, ridiculous gun rights over women, privacy rights under fire. Government could be tracking people through apps and such. You don't want to live here.
Abortion.
You don't want to move here. You don't want to move here. Then, in that case, it's a known fact that the UK is the most surveilled country in the world. We have more CCTV surveillance in the UK than any other country in the world. So, if that's a worry, then don't
Right.
move here.
Most abortions carried out before 24 weeks in the UK. They can be carried out after 24 weeks in very limited circumstances.
Oh, right, okay.
If
You've
the
got
mother's
Google,
life
haven't
is
you?
at risk or the child will be born with a severe disability. I googled it, mate. Google's
Yeah.
my fucking friend.
Yeah. At least you're not using Wikipedia. Thank God
Oh
for that.
Christ, no! I mean, you just rewrite that yourself, can't you? Put what you want in it.
Oh, yeah. Can you tip your camera down a bit, Mickey, so that you look like you're dropping off the end of the screen?
I've slid
I
down.
don't feel like you sat up. You sat up. It's all right. You sat up.
I've slid down. I've got a very slippy chair, and
All
I
right.
keep sliding down. If that much longer, I think this chair will fall apart. It's just about had
All
it.
right. Okay. MM, are you which gender do you identify as? Um, while you're waiting to answer that, I got banned from a Facebook group during the week, Mickey.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, yeah, another one. Yeah, some woman. I asked somebody what gender they identified at, and she said she identified as a saucepan. So I asked her to boil me a pound of spuds.
Oh dear, you didn't
And I
ask
got
it to
banned from the
simmer
group.
down
Yeah,
then.
I got banned from the group.
You didn't tell it to simmer down. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got banned. I never got a chance to do that. I got banned from the group. So that'll teach me. No, I just want to explore. I just want to explore what Eminem's talking about with the ridiculous gun rights over women. So yeah, Harry Fields identifies as Jeff Bezos' secret son.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Amen. Thank you.
M&M, I should imagine, identifies as a fucking chocolate.
Yeah, he actually identifies as male.
Oh, so he's a peanut.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I don't know what it is, Mickey. You've attracted 6 watchers to Reddit. Um,
Well, normally when I'm not here, you have a lot more than that, so perhaps I'm not attracting them at all. I'm doing the opposite. So,
I think it's because you smell weed.
no.
That's not because you smell weed.
No, I changed my nappies earlier.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, I've got Donna to give me a good scrub in them areas, so we're fine.
Oh, Harry Fields. Well, if you identify as Jeff Bezos' secret son, can you lend me a tenner? That's the best thing. That's the best thing. Yeah, Eminem, I like that. You can identify as a chocolate. Yeah. So, your the crux of your argument is that the gun rights are more important than women's rights in America. Is that, or am I reading that? Or am I reading that incorrect, gentlemen? Do you know what, Mickey? I'm so glad we live here.
Yeah, oh. I mean, we moan and we fucking groan about the place, but I'm sorry, but M&M, but I wouldn't want to live over there. I really wouldn't.
I'm so glad we don't have the gun culture over here.
Yeah,
I'm just, I wouldn't even know where to get. I mean, I've got guns. I've got, as you know,
yeah.
I've got air weapons, and I'm quite legal I own an air rifle here, and I love plinking in my back garden. But the only thing I ever shoot is paper. I've never shot a living creature, and nor would I, even though I can legally shoot pigeons and squirrels. I believe in. I'm not religious, but I believe that everything is all life is sacred, and everybody has a right to life, even rats, except wasps. Right, wasps have no right to life. Them little fuckers could die at any time.
Exactly, right? MM. The Supreme Court gave the states the right to regulate abortion, but not guns. How fucking pathetic is that, huh?
Why would you want to live in downtown Baghdad, Harry? Just out of curiosity, why would you like to live in downtown Baghdad? But like I was saying, I've lost you, Mickey.
No, you haven't. You know what I'm doing. Video. You know what I'm doing. You.
Oh, right. Oh, you should have said, right, hang on. Let's kill it on my screen here. Otherwise people just wonder what's going on there. Hang on, I'll put it on my screen. Right, let me know when you're back, all right? Yeah, right, okay. Oh, you should have said, right, let me know when you're back. Right. Yeah, it's lovely weather, Harry. If you, yeah, it's great weather. Total bans, including incest and rape. There's a 10-year-old rape victim that had to travel to get treatment. Some laws are threatening criminal charges for doctors providing care. Yeah. I forget the name. I forget. You want to know what appalling is, Mickey? Let me just do a bit of googling. I forget her name now. You want to know what appalling is? You want to know what appalling is, right? Right, are you ready for this? Right, Lena Medina gave birth. Right, gave birth and made history. All right, does that name mean anything to you? How did she make history? At the time she gave birth, she was 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days old. Tell me about it. 5 years, 7 months, and 21 days. Yeah, I know. The fact that someone of that age can actually can actually get pregnant. But the fact that somebody fucked a toddler is just, horrific. But she was the world's youngest president. Now, if I'm reading that right, in America, if somebody that young, if somebody that young got pregnant, which is possible apparently, Google her name, Lena Medina. Google her. If somebody got pregnant in America, a 5-year-old got pregnant, which is technically possible in some cases, um, it will be illegal to have an abortion, even though the child's only 5 months, 5 years old. Is that correct, Jen? Oh, sorry, my earpiece is giving me a very sore ear today. It's because I'm all sweaty and everything. Um, what's wrong with the weather here, Harry? I'll tell you what, right, Harry. If you uh, if you want to go and move to Baghdad, well, why don't you go and join Tyson? Tyson knows a great local park where you can sunbathe naked. Honestly, he does. But yeah. Um, so if something like that happened, you've got to have it's a certain medical condition. I mean, most 5-year-olds can't get pregnant, so I gather. Oh, there we go. Look, there we go. This is the answer. In some states, no, you couldn't have an abortion, and I find that to be extremely strange. But yeah, there's a medical condition where I forget the name of the medical condition. You have to Google it if you want to know. Where you can actually suffer, or where you can actually go through puberty at a very young age, which is what happened to this little girl. Incidentally, her father, Lena Medina's father, was arrested for child abuse because they thought that he'd done it. He'd raped his own daughter. As it transpires, he hadn't. He wasn't the guilty person. But she never did let on who did it. And her son, if I remember rightly, her son lived until about the 1970s. This all happened in the 1930s. And her son lived up until about the 1970s. Right, hang on. Let's just put your video back on then, Mickey. Mickey was having a cigarette. However, YouTube are not overly happy with people smoking while they're doing live streams. So it could just be a rumor. It could just be urban legend. But I've heard quite a few people have had their streams terminated and their YouTube accounts shut down because they've actually smoked while they're doing streams. Now I don't smoke, so it doesn't affect me. But I know that Mickey does, and he was just being polite and just wandering off to have a cigarette. So, yeah, so that's actually horrifying. That if that situation occurred today in the United States, there's nothing in some states. She wouldn't be able to. She wouldn't be able to have an abortion. Do they demonise smoking? No, like I said, it might be urban legend. It might just be rumour. But I'm a member of lots of YouTube Facebook groups and lots of YouTube Reddit groups, and I've been told on more than one occasion that people have had their accounts terminated or their live streams terminated because people have been smoking on air. So I've advised Mickey and Jason, who come on, both of them smoke. I've advised them if they're going to smoke, just to kill their cameras, which solves the problem. It's just the world we live in, isn't it? Everybody demonises smoking nowadays, don't they? This is my fan. Look, my fan. Look, I'm actually going to sit with it on my lap now. Oh, blow it up and jumper. There we go. It's nice. It's nice. I'm going to blow up my trouser leg in a minute.
Stick out your trouser leg, yeah. Stick out your shorts leg, mate.
Hello, Happy Smile Seeker. Happy Smile Seeker's obviously been on my stream before because Happy Smile Seeker knows exactly what my favourite beer is, and it's it's beer that is from round your neck of the woods, Mickey. Well, yeah, it's from Norfolk, Woodford's Wherry.
I don't know where Woodford's brewery is actually. Is that Essex, isn't it?
I thought it was in Norfolk.
Or it might be. I don't know. I'm Suffolk, mate.
Oh,
we
right, okay.
we got Adnams round here, mate. I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, MM. There's some people on Reddit, right, who actually base their stream on this one guy that says that does last dab before bed and smoking on joints. But like I say, I don't smoke and I don't partake of cannabis either. Don't get me wrong, I used to. I used to smoke a joint. I used to smoke at least 2 joints every day. But when I gave up smoking, I might have mentioned this before. When I gave up smoking, which was January the 18th, 2019, I also gave up smoking cannabis the very same day because I figured that if I'm going to give up smoking and just carry on smoking joints, then I haven't actually given up smoking. So I just knocked it all on the head. And with hindsight, I'll talk about the cannabis in a minute. Jaded AD 6109. Hi, how are you? Unhappy smile seeker there. Right, yeah. So all the time I was smoking cannabis, which I think I started smoking cannabis about. Have you ever smoked cannabis, Mickey?
Not for a very long time.
All
In
right,
my youth, I think we've all tried it in our youth. Well, majority of people I think have probably tried. And do you know what? It just made me tired. That's all. I just sat there, going to sleep. That's all. Did absolutely nothing for me. Nothing.
I had my first joint at 16, and I was around my girlfriend's house, and she said, "Why don't you try a joint?" So I did, and that's exactly what happened to me. I'm sitting there, right, and I smoked it, and I looked at her, and I said, "Well, it's not doing anything for me." The very next thing I know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's waking me up.
Yeah, pretty much similar.
But I've since then, from 16 to the age of 59, right? It's a long, long time, 43 years. I'd have at least 1 or 2 joints a night, and I didn't think it was doing me any harm. I didn't think it was doing any harm at all, which it wasn't. I mean, when you're high on a joint, you don't want to fight the world. All you want to do is like sing to Bob Marley and raid the fridge. Well, that's all right. Oh, it made me as horny as hell. Oh God, did it? Oh, unbelievable! It made sex great. It made sex great. I must admit. It made me.
You'd have got on well then.
Yeah, made me as horny as hell. Gave me some of the best ejaculations from real knee trembler ejaculations. And I was convinced that it was no harm and it wasn't doing me any harm. It's only after I gave it up, and it's only after when I look back now, and I look back to how I was in the joints, I realised just how bad it actually was. It gave me a lethargy that I don't have now. There were so many. I used to have a determination and drive that I've got so many projects on the go. I mean, I've got something like 600 hours of video that I've got to edit. Sorry, not 600, 60 hours of video I've got to edit, and I've got the motivation to do it. But when I was on cannabis, I sort of lost that motivation. And the other thing about being on cannabis is I sort of lost time. That's the other thing that I've realised going back now. That some nights I just lost time. I sit down about 10 o'clock and I'd have a joint, and I don't know what happened to the rest of the night. It just went. It just vanished. And I don't know what I'd done with it. So I'm in that respect, I'm glad that I gave it up. It's also cheap. It's also cheaper not smoking cannabis, and of course in the UK here it's illegal. So that's the other thing, which is rather handy because after about 6 months after I gave it up, I got stopped. Have you ever seen these roadside Mickey? Have you ever seen these roadside checks where you've got the police, the DHSS, HMRC, and all the agencies? Yeah.
DVLA, the lot.
Yeah. I got pulled up on one of those roadside checks, and they said it was just they were just doing a survey. HMRC, I was driving a diesel at the time, and HMRC dipped my tanks to make sure that I didn't have red diesel in the tanks. DHSS checked to make sure that I wasn't claiming benefits that I'm working, and the police gave me a drug swab, and it came back completely clean. And I thought to myself, giving up cannabis was probably the best thing I ever did, because in that drug swab, if I'd have been smoking cannabis the way I've been smoking it when I was smoking it, that would have been my driving license gone.
Yeah.
I would have picked it up, because what I understand is it takes something like 6 weeks to get it out of your system once you've done it. So, all in all, I'm no longer breaking the law when I smoke it. I'm no longer breaking the law when I buy it. And my brain seems a lot sharper now than it was when I was on cannabis, but that might just be a faulty memory. So, but all in all, I'm glad that I gave it up, because I didn't like the fog that it gave me. Maybe I'm a control freak, I don't know, but I just didn't like this fog that cannabis gave me. So all in all, I'm glad that I gave it up. That's a major lifestyle change. Um, so have any of you guys, like Happy Smile Seeker or Jaded or Harry or Tyson, have you got any views on cannabis? I know that MM has some views. Let's just take a minute and see what MM says. I use it medicinally rather than recreationally. I have a card and grow my own organic cannabis at home. Game changer for treating conditions attained in the military. I understand that in America, some states it's legal, isn't it? That's what you're referring to. We say card. What do you mean by you have a card?
I've actually got a friend on Facebook. Never met him, same
I
as
don't believe you.
I have just one, and he posted a prescription he got today from the hospital, and that included cannabis. That's in the States.
I'll take it your friend's in America.
Yes, yeah, he's in the States, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
But it seemed a bit strange to me, you know, that they actually prescribe it over there.
I'm finding it very strange you've got a friend.
Well, yeah, I know. Billy No Mates and all that, yeah.
You're by the way, you're slipping down here.
I am sliding, I know. Hang on.
But yeah, and then it's legal. It's legal over there. So tell me about it. What's this card you're referring to? What about you, Harry, and you, Tyson? Have you got any thoughts on it, or Jaded AD 6109, or Happy Smile Seeker, or Creamiest Puss? How many? We've got 7 watchers on Reddit now. Yay, 7 watchers. We're really rocking it tonight, mate. We're really rocking in tonight, Mickey.
Yeah, they must have heard I was here again.
I think you're right. I think it's because you're on the stream. You've slipped down your chair again.
I haven't moved.
Oh,
fucking hell. There we go.
Do you want a cushion?
I'm sitting on a cushion.
Do you want one of those like kids' children? You know, like they get in cars. Do you want a child's booster seat? Have a rip round and buy you a child's booster seat. Oh, you've got a. Oh, it's a hemorrhoid cushion.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, because you used to be a truck driver, didn't you?
Yes.
And they suffer with hemorrhoids a lot, don't they?
Piles of them, mate.
Piles of them, indeed.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's legal recreation in 20 states, medicinally in 40 plus states. Again, you see, you say you want to move to the UK, but you've done it right. Okay. Creamiest Puss says, "I love cannabis. I have a medical card as well." What? Can you tell me what is this? Oh, thank you for the award, Creamiest Puss. I appreciate it. Creamiest Puss, tell us. Creamiest Puss is on Reddit, by the way, for those that can't see, but I will let you know. Creamiest Puss, can you tell me what is this medical card? I'm not familiar with that. So let me know what it is, please. Oh, man. According to my thermometer, it's 38 degrees in here, Mickey. Oh, I'm going to cut on my fan for a minute. Oh, light up the shirt again. Oh, excuse me. Medical cards allow you to grow and possess cannabis. Oh, that's good. And that's good. And that's is that legal all over the states or just some states? Oh,
I don't think they'd let you grow a field of it, though, would they?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, oh.
The old combine harvester out for your fucking cannabis.
I'm just ignore me. I'm just blowing the fan up my shirt. Turn it up a bit. Oh, look at that. Oh, I've got sweaty moves. Oh, oh. In states where it isn't legal for recreational use, a card allows you to possess cannabis prescribed for you by a doctor. Okay. Okay. So you can actually get it on prescription. Right. 4 plants max where I am. All right. T-Rex Slayer 5. T-Rex Slayer 5. Are you T-Rex Slayer 5? Because the other 4 T-Rex Slayers were a bit shit and they lost out to the T-Rex Slayers. Is that why you're T-Rex Slayer number 5? Just out of curiosity. I'm from the United Kingdom. I'm in London, and Mickey is from the UK. He's in Lowestoft, which is up there on the southeast,
On the
northeast
East Coast. On the
East Coast,
yeah.
East Coast, yeah, East Coast. So that's where we're from. But the fact that you're T-Rex Slayer 5, I want to know what happened to the other 4.
Not sure I'm happy with a T-Rex Slayer. I quite like Mark Boland, to be fair.
No. Is my fan getting in the way of my microphone?
It's fucking noisy, mate.
Fuck. I'll turn it off then. What about now?
Oh, that's better.
Right.
Mind you, I don't know whether the fan sound is better than you fucking waffling on. Thank you. Oh, 2 of them. I'm lucky.
All right, T-Rex Slayer. Right, okay, T-Rex Slayer. It's T-Rex Slayer 5 is because he conquered the other 4. So, right, so 4 plants max is where you are, Creamiest Bush. Okay. Okay, so there you go, Mickey. Look, in some states they can grow 4 plants max for medicinal use. So that's what that cards are from. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Mickey, can you hold the fort down, please? Because I'm going to go and have a piss.
I could hold the fort, but it'll be a quiet fort. Carry on.
Yeah, I'm going to go and have a piss.
Go for your piss. Yeah. I'll see what people have to say. Well, it's only me. Talk to me, peoples. If I keep turning my head away, it's because I keep looking at my other screen, so I can see what people are saying.
Oh.
That was quick. It must have gone down his leg.
I've also got myself some more lager.
Ah.
Co-op cheap lager. The missus bought it for me because she said that I drink too much and I should cut down the alcohol. So co-op lager is actually quite weak, but it's cold, so I don't care. Oh. Mm. You got a question, Mickey?
What
You got 2
historical
questions.
moment you remember? What's the last great movie that you watched? Well, I'm not one. I'll be honest. I'm not one for watching movies. To be fair, the last one I went was I took my grandson to see the Freddie Mercury film with I can't remember what his bloody name is, but yeah, I think that's probably the last film. That's a good one. But probably my favourite film of all time is Saving Private Ryan. Absolutely fantastic film. Which Premier team do I support? Unfortunately, I'm an Aston Villa supporter. For my sins.
And I support a team that wears the same colours.
He's a West Ham fan.
I'm a West Ham fan. The last great movie I watched, I know Mickey's, the last great movie I watched was Top Gun Maverick, which I thought was a brilliant film. And the wildest historical moment you can remember, I don't know about wild,
I don't know about wild, but certainly the Falklands is one that comes to mind.
Well, I was going to go even earlier than that, because the most historical moment I remember will probably be the same one for you, Mickey. It's the very first big news story that I ever remember as a child, the Aberfan disaster.
Oh yes, yeah. I was at school then. Yeah, that was dreadful. Yeah.
That was, for those that don't know, in America, the Aberfan, and I will spell it out for you so you can Google it.
It was coal slurry, wasn't it, that
yes.
collapsed onto the school?
That's Aberfan. If you guys want to Google it, it was a Welsh Aberfan is a Welsh mining town, not far from Merthyr Tydfil, which I visit a friend there at Merthyr Tydfil every couple of years. And we always drive through Aberfan and we always pay our respects. Welsh mining village where the children had gone to school, and just after the main assembly, they'd gone back to their classes about 10 past 9 in the morning. And a coal slurry pile of coal slurry that had been building up behind the school just collapsed because an underground spring had been leaking into it, and it buried the school and it killed over 100 young children. And this was in 1966. Google it. Google Aberfan disaster, and that was probably the wildest historical moment that I can remember. The first historical moment in my life, because I was 6 when Aberfan happened. So you'd be about 9, wouldn't you, Mickey?
66. I was 10, mate.
Oh, you were 10, right? I was 6 when it happened. I was 6 when it happened. So it just stuck in my mind, because every school up and down the country had special assemblies for the victims, because it struck, it resonated. I didn't know what the word was at the time. I was 6, but it resonated with us because we were all at school as well. It could have happened to anybody. But I urge you to Google the Aberfan disaster, and it was the most profound thing for a child that I can ever. It just affected everybody in the country.
That was actually the same year that we actually managed to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Which was another historical event that I remember quite well. I remember I was on holiday somewhere in Devon or somewhere when we played the final, and I weren't allowed to go to the beach because I had to watch a fucking cup final.
Oh, my father was on crowd control that day.
Yeah. What, down at Wembley?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, not inside the stadium.
No, I haven't, Creamiest Puss. I haven't seen 1917. I'll put that on my to-do. Yes, I did serve T-Rex Slayer. I did 6 years in the British Army. 16th Queen's Royal Lancer.
I didn't serve. I attempted to join the RAF when I was at school, but I failed the medical because I'm colourblind. So unfortunately, I didn't serve. I desperately wanted to. I would have loved to have been in the RAF, not as a pilot, but in the RAF regiment. I would have loved to have done that, but it wasn't to be, I'm afraid. Have you got a cigarette, Mickey?
Yeah, you can leave that up. I'll just pop that on.
You should have given me a bit of warning before you went. But there we go. Right, I've just killed you. Right, I've just killed you. Yeah, but I don't want everybody to see a Skype screen. I'd like them to think it's magic. I don't want to see that we're actually using Skype to do this interview with. Although I should be using Video Ninja, but I haven't got round to it. So no, I wanted to serve, but I never did serve. I'm afraid I never did serve. So that was something that I missed because I would have been involved in the Falklands War. I would have loved to have been in the Falklands War. Right. Um, you guys, T-Rex Love 5 says you guys are awesome. I have to head out. But any advice for a 20-year-old man? Yes, wear a condom. That's the best advice I can give you. Wear a condom. Don't matter if you're having sex or not. Just wear a condom. Only take it off to have a piss. Otherwise, put it back on again. But yeah, that's my advice. Wear a condom. Um, oh yeah, there is that. Um, that's not what we agreed. Where are you from then? I am well. Well, yeah, I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, Mickey has got COPD. I've got cancer. And so yeah, apart from that, we're absolutely fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorcery magic. It is sorcery magic. How I can actually get Mickey on in well, you don't know that I've actually brought him on by Skype because I didn't tell you, but yeah, it's Skype. It's not sorcery magic. It's Skype. Um, MM over there on the East Coast. You were telling me about cannabis. Is it legal in the state you're in? What about you, Harry? What about you, Harry, or you, Tyson? What are your thoughts on cannabis? We're talking about. If you're in the US, where to? Where to what? Yeah, hang on. I'm previous push. I've lost track of the conversation. Where to what? Thank you, T-Rex Slayer. Thank you for the award. There, I appreciate that. I want to know. I really, yeah, I want to talk to the four T-Rex Slayers who went before him. I think they've probably got interesting stories as well. So yeah, to my deep shame, McGill never served. I would love to have served. I would have loved to have done. I was in the ATC and everything. I really wanted to join the RAF regiment. I know it sounds really strange, but I really wanted to join the RAF regiment. Yeah, they actually had a vital role to play in the Falklands. So yeah. Oh, good. MM. So cannabis. Which state is that? East Coast, so Vermont, New York State, Rhode Island, Philadelphia, New England. Which sorry, yeah. yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to think of the East Coast states. Um, Florida, the other Washington. Um, what's up above Washington? Oh, fuck knows. My American geography is not that great. Oh right, sorry. Yes, scream is push. Yes, if you're in America, wear two. Yeah, yeah, one on your cock and one on your head. That's what all Americans should do. All Americans should wear two condoms, one on their cocks and one on their heads. Genius. Right, of all the fucking states, right, I mentioned all of the states on the East Coast except fucking Virginia. So that's two friends you've got. You're full of surprises, you are. You realise, Mickey, this is revenge, because normally you pop up on my screen and make these sarky little comments, but now I've got you live, I can make the sarky little comments back. Uh, I know, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. Oh, dear. Sorry, I'm in Virginia, yeah. I mentioned all the fucking East Coast states except that one. I'm sorry, all right. I'm in England, so I don't really. Ah, speaking of England, right? We're going through a bit of a we're going through a hard time at the moment, and because our prime minister is he's been a bit of an arsehole. There we go. There we go. Oh, for fuck's sake! My snap. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. I'm not resigning. I'm not leaving number 10. I am staying right here and I'm not leaving. And even if I do leave, it won't be till October. I'm going to stay on and I'm going to outlive my welcome. I'm going to do as much damage to the economy and the country as I can in the next 3 months. I understand exactly what you said, but what I need to do is I need to father more children with other women. Well, not for me, of course. I'm Prime Minister, so I can do what I like. And I've got an injunction out to stop people talking about the researcher that I shipped off to Canada because I got her pregnant. But we're not allowed to talk about that because there's an injunction out against it. Are you back, Mickey? Are you? All right, hang on.
Because I'll only get told off by the schoolmaster. There we go.
Right, okay. Yes, I got Boris. Yes, I'm appearing on stream. I need to. I need to tell people that I have to father more children and I have to father a lot more children. So that's why I'm here. So as I'm being Boris Johnson today, now ask me anything. You can ask me. You can ask me anything.
Why are you such an arsehole?
It's taken me 62 years to get this far. All right. It's taken a lot of practice to be an arsehole.
Dear. But I mean, in all seriousness, Steve, what do you think of the situation? I mean, I'm glad he's gone. To be fair,
I'm glad I've retired, but
yeah,
realistically, I think I should fuck off as soon as possible.
yeah, yeah.
I can't believe that I've actually got away with saying I'm resigning, but I'm staying on till October.
It's
Do you
unreal,
have
really.
any idea how much damage I can do between now and then?
Absolutely unreal. How do you keep your hair looking like shit every day, Boris?
Oh, it's a talent. It's a complete talent. You
Yeah.
know, it's taken a lot of practice like this. I've actually got a hairdresser that comes in and says, Boris, would you like to look like you've arrived on a motorbike? And I say yes. And so she does my hair like this. COVID party, where's the Boris de jour? Hey Boris, who's your favourite Beatle? Oh, yes, yes. Stag is my favourite Beatle. Stag is my favourite Beatle. Would you like to have some children with me?
Not really.
Not you, Mickey. No, no, the viewers out there.
Oh,
Would you like to have some children with me? I don't think I've got enough children with enough different women. So would anyone out there like to have some children with me?
God.
I can't believe that I've got away with resigning and I'm staying in power till October. My partner Carrie can now rip the country off something rotten. I mean, if you thought £800 a roll wallpaper was something, you wait until you see what we're going to do next. You wait until we see what we're going to do next.
I think she's the power behind the throne, to be honest with you.
Uh, I'll have the Boris Johnson next, me to my barber. Well, that's simple. All your barber then has to do is to put your head in a cement mixer. That's the Boris Johnson. That's the Boris Johnson head thing done. So, would anybody else like to ask Boris any other questions? I've got my snap camera at work, Mickey.
You got what?
I've got my snap camera at work. Can you tell?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Elon Musk, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Elon Musk has got something like 12 children, hasn't he? Is it 9 or 12 children? Something like
And he
that.
just had twins with somebody.
Oh, yeah, and he names them weird, fuck off, stupid names.
Yeah.
Right, let's not be Boris anymore because it actually makes me feel sick. Being Boris, so right, there I go. I'm not Boris anymore. I've actually got 4 children.
You're actually right. That's not. He will have a fantastic retirement with a full pension.
Yeah.
God knows what. Absolutely terrible.
I've got 4 children, and they're all with the same mother. So all my 4 children have got the same parents, and that's something I'm quite proud of.
My 2 have as well. My 2 have same parents.
Same parents, yeah.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's unusual, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, it is these days.
But yeah, it's unusual. I think this whole Boris situation is really fucked up, and I really think that Boris needs to go now. And I predict that by about Monday or Tuesday of next week, I think he'll be out, and I think Dominic Raab will take over the country as the caretaker Prime Minister.
Which is as it should be, because he's a deputy, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I also further think that our next Prime Minister will either be Rishi Sunak or Ben Wallace.
I think Ben Wallace is more in the running at the moment, although I don't know a lot about him, to be fair. I don't know.
Well, I liked his attitude. His attitude as the Defence Minister. So he's the current Defence Minister, and he's not kowtowing to the Russians. Yeah. Yes, you're not wrong. That's not why I agree. You're not wrong. Boris will spend the next 3 months feathering his nest at the expense of the British public. We know that he's a liar. We know that he's a con artist, and yeah, if he's allowed to remain in office, he will be feathering his nest for the next few months to make sure that he has a lovely retirement. To my deep and everlasting shame, I actually supported Boris for the Prime Minister originally, and that is to my deep and everlasting shame. And I am so sorry about that.
Do you know what, Steve? It's the first time I ever voted Conservative was for him, and that was not to get him in, but rather he was the better of the 2 evils as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, what a mistake. I didn't vote in December 2019. I didn't vote in the general election. Not that I didn't want to vote. It's just that there was a bit of a mix-up between me and the local council, and they didn't get my postal vote registered in time. So I didn't actually vote in the general election. But I never voted for. I voted in the 2017 election, but not in the 2019 election. So it would have been that Boris was a prime minister I never voted for. Which reminds me that Keir Starmer is talking about bringing in a motion of no confidence in the government. If he actually tables that motion and enough Conservative backbenchers rebel against the government, which we've seen with 54 resignations now, that could mean a general election.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we don't want.
Not at the moment, no.
No. I don't want, we think the Conservatives are bad, but Labour are 10 times worse. I mean, right now, we don't want Labour in power.
See, I've never been a proponent of it before, but the more this crap goes on, the more I'm inclined to go down the route of proportional rep.
I've always wanted proportional representation. I've always wanted.
It's something I've been thinking over the past few weeks, to be fair. And I think, well, because that'll then give you. I mean, I'm not a very political person, to be fair, but I think if you got proportional representation, then that would give you some checks and balances. Without, I mean, at the minute you've got the Conservative Party that are going fucking mental doing. You got Labour are unelectable as far as I'm concerned. But with PR, I think perhaps there'll be a check and balance, and people won't be able to get away with what Boris and his cronies have done so far. I can't see Rishi Sunak being the next PM purely for the fact of his wife's domiciliary situation that she's just had, you know, with her tax affairs and what have you.
I don't know. I think he handled it quite well. Creamiest Push just says, Creamiest Push, I'll come back in a second. Now that's not what I agree. All the political leaders we have now are endlessly disappointing. They're not wrong, they are endlessly disappointing. Creamiest Push asked what the divisive political issues here. The divisive political issues here at the moment are the cost of living increases that we are suffering, and the cost of petrol, gasoline, gas prices. They are absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I went out on the weekend, and I came back on the motorway, the M6 and the M11, and both times the petrol stations, gas stations on the motorway were charging £2.05 per litre for unleaded, which is at a horrendous price for fuel. This time, 2019, it was 99p a litre. So in 2 years, it's doubled in price. And we've been having protest movements that have been that are threatened to bring the country to a halt over the price of gas. So right now, the cost of living increases are a very divisive issue, with the basic staples that we all need to live and survive on costing a tremendous amount of money. Do you agree with that, Mickey?
Yeah, they're even putting security tags on Lurpak butter now, believe it or not. £9 for a 7.5 bloody kilo tub of butter. £9. Absolutely ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
But I mean, I'm paying £2 a litre for diesel here, which is fucking terrible.
Yeah, but you drink it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, yeah, but that's beside the point, isn't it? Eh? It's actually cheaper.
It's one when I pass the petrol, when I pass the I've got to say gas station because I've got Americans on. When I pass the gas station today, unleaded because I've got a petrol car, I've got a hybrid, but unleaded was £1.89 a litre, and that's awful. That's awful. Yes, Frosty, we've got to. I mean, I agree. We've just got to cuss the cuss with simple items. I mean, I've taken a wanking rather than visiting brothels, so I'm definitely cutting costs there. What about you? Somebody said, Creamiest Bush says, what do the different parties go for? What do you think the different parties go for, Mickey? I'm just going to go have a piss again, and I'm back in a minute. Nothing like dropping you in it, is there?
No, and you do like dropping me in it. And it's something I can't answer because, like I said, I'm not really a political person. Labour seem to be the leftist party, if you like, and the Conservatives are the right-wing party, which is so you can see they're both coming from different ends. And then you've got what we call what do they call themselves now? Not the SLP, Liberal Democrats, who are somewhere in between, who are a non-entity really. I'm not really much of a talker, am I? That's not, I believe you're in Canada. So yeah, Trudeau. Yes, we want to get rid of Trudeau as well.
One thing you've got to bear in mind with streaming, Mickey, is no dead air. Right? That means at all times you've got to fill the air with something, so we can't not talk. So when I leave you to go and have a piss, you need to talk. Even if it's talking absolute shit, you need to talk. You can't have dead air.
They'll tell you I'm talking shit.
Yeah, we're both talking shit.
Trying to explain that the Tories are right wing and the Labour is left wing, but I'm not very political, so I can't really, don't really have a say on it really.
I can't, but those are the divisive issues here.
Yeah.
Very much so. Gas is super expensive here too. It'll only go up, and yeah, yes. So the cost of living, it's I think we're now paying for the. I think we're now paying for the COVID lockdown, aren't we?
I think so. Yeah. Not forgetting the war in Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine is a big wheat producer, isn't it?
Yeah. Also rapeseed.
Yeah, rapeseed oil and stuff like that. Yeah, so we're suffering through that.
Yeah.
Russia's more or less effectively turned off their gas supplies to us. When I say gas, I don't mean petrol, I mean gas for our American viewers. Europe relied heavily on Russia for gas.
Well,
Stupidest thing.
We've got our own.
So do we.
We've got our own.
Yeah, we got our own, but we're still important, Russia. Very stupid thing. If you could travel to any time period, past or future, where would you go to? I'd like to be a Viking. I really would have liked to live in Viking times. All that rape and pillage appeals to me. No, that's not the reason. I just like the way that they lived, to be fair.
I would like to go back to the Second World War. I would like to go back to about 1944, 1945, because I would like to see the sky filled with aeroplanes as it must have been. Can you imagine, right, watching 1,000 heavy bomber raids leaving for Germany? You can't imagine it, Mickey, can you?
Well, I know.
It must. Not only must it look spectacular, but it must feel spectacular from the ground. 1,000 bomber raid leaving for Germany with all its escorts.
And the noise must have been phenomenal.
And so that's what I'd like to go back. I'd like to go back and I'd like to see that. With the codicil, I'd like to see it from a place of safety.
You wouldn't want to be in the rear gunner seat then?
No.
No. Oh.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, can you imagine it? You can't. I mean, I've seen the Battle of Britain Memorial flight when it comes overhead, which is one Lancaster and two Spitfires, and that it makes a tremendous noise, and you can feel it. But can you imagine 1,000 bomber raid?
Yeah,
that must be something to. That must be something to really watch. And that's where I would go back to. Oh, there you go. Look, that's what I agree.
Yes, I know. Yeah, and Viking times were. I mean, I've been reading a lot of books just lately at work about the Viking era. Not necessarily factual, but fictional. But yeah, it just seems to me that it would have been a good time to. I mean, did you know that the Vikings went as far as Egypt and the Middle East? And I wasn't aware of that. How many generations can I trace back my ancestors? Unfortunately, not very far. My father died when I was 4 years old, so I was brought up in care of the local authority. So I've known my brother and my sister. Not a lot. I don't know a lot of my family, to be fair. So I can't. I could if I tried, I suppose, trace them, but it's not something that's occurred to me.
Mm-hmm. Mojo 6, I can trace my ancestors back to the 11th century, which I believe is 26 generations, about 1075 is as far back as I can go, because prior to that, the records really were very poorly kept. I can trace my ancestors back only because my parental line comes from a very small part of the UK and has been contained in that small part of the UK. I've had 3 DNA tests done. I've had 3 separate DNA tests.
None of them have come back as human, might I add?
Yeah, they will come back. Yeah. I've had 3 done because all 3 companies give you different results from your DNA. But I've also had I've had the mitochondrial DNA and the other DNA. I can't remember which one is which, but one of them actually traces your lineage back as far as you can go. And what I've discovered is that I'm 98% British, and my parental line, i.e., my father, the male line going back, we've been in the UK since before the Bronze Age. So, which is quite unusual because the UK is very much a Mongol nation, and most people have a lot of Viking in them. In fact, my children have Viking in them because their mother's line was intermixed with the Vikings about 500 years ago. So my children are something like 28% Viking, but I'm not. I'm 98% Anglo-Saxon, and I can trace my lineage right back until before the Bronze Age. But that I'm exceptional in that respect because my parental line come from a very very narrow. They actually come from the Isle of Wight, which is a tiny island off of the southeast coast of England, um, which is 4 miles off the mainland, and that 4 miles maintained the barrier to travel and everything else. So for many generations, they're all contained on the island. Probably fucking their cousins most of the time, but I can trace my lineage back that far. Back to about 1075, 1078, I think. Um, Prior to that, the church records really weren't very good. Actually, church records, because they were the keepers of the records, really wasn't very good. So, if that answers your question, so I think about 25, 26 generations, something like that. I can tell you that I'm directly related to two very famous people in history. I'm directly related to Richard. I'm not royalty, but I'm directly related to Richard the First, and I'm directly related to Anne Boleyn. Both of those people are in my family tree. Um, uh, Anne Boleyn via a very loose connection that Anne Boleyn's grandfather was my 20th great grandfather, something like that. And Richard the First is my my millionth great grandfather or something like that. But I've got to tell you now, Richard the First, right, also has 4 million living relatives in the UK today. I'm one of those 4 million, but I can trace my lineage back to that thanks to DNA testing, which is absolutely fantastic. Now that you've answered that, that's how many generations I can trace back. So effectively, I can trace my lineage back until the records were too poor for me to decipher and follow. What about you, Mickey? You ever had a DNA test done?
No, I haven't. No, no. Like I said, I'm not really in contact with any of my family as such. So
But you know, mates.
exactly that. Yeah, yeah. But like I say, being brought up by local authorities made it very difficult. You know.
Uh, well, I actually think, Mickey, that everybody should get a DNA test done because it's absolutely fantastic what the DNA test, what the DNA
It's.
test
I
picks
can't say
up.
that it's not something I've thought about because you see them advertised all the time. But I mean, are they realistic? Is what it boils down to. Um, you know, are they accurate? I mean, obviously
Yes,
you've had three, so you must believe so.
yeah,
Uh,
they are. They are.
and that's all. That's always what's put me off doing them. I think.
I'll tell you
I mean,
one thing,
fuck
mate.
me, I'm frightened now because I might be related to you.
You might be. You might be. It just
Huh?
depends what your lineage is like. That's
Richard
the
the
say.
fucking first might be somewhere in my background, and I'm fucking hell, man.
Like I say, it all depends on your lineage. Like I say, my children have completely different lineage to
Yeah,
me, because their mother and her side of the family were that their mother's line originated in Scotland. So Scotland was quite invaded by the
by
Vikings and
Scots, by the Vikings. Yeah,
quite diluted. So, all my children have got blonde hair and blue eyes. So they're very much the Viking DNA
yeah.
is there in my children. From my mother's side, actually, my son hasn't got blonde hair. It's my two daughters, my youngest son. They've all got blonde hair and blue eyes. So they are they're very much Viking. You can see the Viking in them. When I had the DNA come and they turned up, I mean, I told my youngest daughter when her DNA test come back because all my kids had DNA tests as well. When her DNA test come back, I told her she had to surrender a British passport. She didn't believe me.
Get a Danish one.
Get a Danish one, yeah. But they are. And what they've thrown up is they've thrown up some quite interesting ones that I've found some cousins in Australia that I didn't know I had. And these cousins in Australia, right, keep saying, well, we've checked our family tree and you don't appear in our family tree anywhere. And I looked at their family tree and I said, I agree, I don't appear in in any of their family trees. And what it's thrown up is that somewhere in the last 200 years, somebody's been telling lies.
Fuck you,
Somebody,
what is this stream about? Well, it's just two old men talking a load of bollocks, basically.
yeah, about whatever comes up.
Whatever comes
chatting about DNA. So it turns out that in the past, somebody has been lying. So a woman has not told her husband who the real father of her child was. Yeah. So that was probably, and that's the only way that you can come up with these connections. That somewhere along the line, I think I know who it is, they've lied about a child's parentage. They've made out on the birth certificate, right? They put their husband's name down as the father of the child. But the genetics have said, hang on, he cannot be the father of the child because none of his DNA is in that child. There's somebody else's DNA in that child that's related to me. And that's why it's thrown it up. So that's one thing about DNA that I absolutely find fascinating. And while we're on the subject of DNA, I find the whole thing about DNA quite fascinating. Did you have you watched the news lately, Mickey? Last week it ended. There was a trial of a man who got 15 years to life for murdering a 5-year-old boy when he was a 13-year-old back in the 1990s.
All right.
And the reason this trial has only just come to happen in 2022 is because they did take DNA samples in the 1990s, but it's only just recently that the DNA technology has been great enough to to make the match between. This guy was originally classed by the police as a witness, but when they ran the DNA again just recently, they discovered it was his DNA on the clothing that was torn off of the child. And he's been arrested and charged for it. It turned out that he was actually the killer. And I find that aspect of DNA to be absolutely fascinating. And I think that right now, given the number of high-profile crimes that have been solved by DNA in this country anyway, I think right now there's an awful lot of people up and down the country that every night must dread that knock on the door. Because they committed a crime 20, 30 years ago and they left DNA on the scene thinking that it didn't matter. And one day they're going to get caught. But what's worse is, even if they leave a completely blameless life and don't get arrested for anything, it only needs a cousin, an uncle, a brother, an auntie, a direct relative to be arrested and their DNA to be taken and compared against a sample of a crime to find the familial match that ends up with them being prosecuted. And I find that to be quite fascinating. I don't know what you think, Mickey.
It is, yeah. There are cases where, dating back to the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that have come to light via DNA testing as well. Although we didn't have DNA testing in them, clothing or whatever has been used to find the perpetrators from that far back even. It's absolutely it's amazing the things they can do these days.
And I agree with you, fuck you. You really wanted me to say fuck you with it usually, didn't you? I'll say it, fuck you. I agree with you. Whoever raised the child is the father. But we're talking about DNA tracing of ancestry, and DNA tracing of ancestry says you may have raised the child, you may be the father on the birth certificate, but the DNA says you are not that child's biological father. And when you're trying to trace your family tree, it does throw up some very interesting offshoots when you realise that the DNA is proving that somebody along the line, on more than one occasion, has been telling fibs. And DNA in that respect is fascinating. But like I said, I also find it fascinating because you could commit a crime 20 years ago, and nowadays, today in 2022, you have to worry about whether your uncle, auntie, brother, cousin is going to be arrested. Because as soon as they give the DNA, because I don't know what it's like in America and other countries, but in this country, in the UK, whenever you're arrested, you have to give fingerprints and you have to give DNA. These are legal requirements. So, you don't have to, you don't actually have to commit a crime. If you're arrested, you've got to give your DNA. And it's compared against previous crimes. So there are crimes that I often wonder. I often wonder if we're ever going to, because we've still got some of the clothing that Jack the Ripper's victims wore, and I wonder whether DNA technology will reach the stage, Ricky, where we can actually identify a living relative of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all in the future. And did you know it's also a fact if you're a witness in a case, they'll take your DNA.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't
they
know
did
that.
that. They did that for me. I forget what it was for now, but I had to go to police. And they took DNA, telling me that it would be destroyed within 24 hours. Now, whether that ever happened or not, I don't know. But yeah, as a witness, they took DNA from me.
Was
That
that to
was to
eliminate?
eliminate it from, you know what I mean. But they reckoned within 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it was that would be destroyed. Whether they did or not, I don't know. So, but it might still be on their database for all I know.
You haven't committed any sex crimes, have you?
No, not recently.
No, me neither.
There's no sheep round here, mate.
No, hey, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
Anyway, turn me off a second.
I'll turn you off because you're going to cigarette, are you? Right,
Yeah.
okay. I'm turning Mickey off because I had it on good authority that YouTube don't like people smoking on air. So I just thought I'd mention that. I tell you what, Mickey, I'm actually going to end this stream at 11:30 because I've had 2 beers and I'm getting a bit wrecked. Plus, I'm a bit tired because I've been seriously sweating my bollocks off. Look a bit wrecked. Oh, oh. I'll tell you what, right? It's 11:20 now, right? Once I've ended this stream, I'm going to end the stream at 11:30. Once I've ended this stream, I'm going to grab another beer out of the fridge. I'm going to go and sit in the garden just to cool down. I mean, I took my, yeah, oh yeah. I've got a fan. I've got a fan at the foot of my bed, and that's blowing on me constantly. My night's just so bad. I take one of these to bed with me. That's a cherries and berries drink, but I've added electrolyte powder to it. The reason being is because I sweat so profusely at night that when I wake up in the morning, there's actually salt stains on the pillow. And I lose so many vital salts like potassium, magnesium, sodium, and chlorine that I have to replace them during the night, which is what that drink is. It's an electrolyte drink. Um, and yeah, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I have a blood cancer. I have follicular lymphoma, and one of the symptoms of follicular lymphoma is night sweats. So yeah, this time of year, Mickey, is is terrible. Now, I don't want you to think about this, but I actually sleep naked with no covers on me, and the fan. Like I said, I've got a fan on the wall. It's a 16-inch fan, so it's quite a big fan, and it's on maximum power, and it's blowing on me all night, just to stop me, just to keep me cool. But yeah, I still have night sweats. Something terrible. My night sweats are, truth be told, you probably picked it up from my Facebook that things aren't going too well at the moment. So I'm going downhill a bit. So I'm on chemotherapy at the moment. My current treatment isn't working, and they're going to give me a biopsy to take a deep groin biopsy just to check to see if my cancer's has transformed. And then they're going to change my chemotherapy to something called R-shot, which I really don't want to go on because it's the worst kind of chemotherapy of the lot. But yeah, I still suffer slight sweats. In fact, last night At 4:30, the night sweats were so bad that I got up and I changed the sheets, and then I had to go and have a shower. I had to shower, and I come out of the shower, and I stood there and I dripped dried. And within 10 minutes, I was sweating again, and it was pouring off me in rivers. Like I say, when this stream is over, I'm going to grab a can of beer and I'm going to go and sit in the garden, and I'm just going to just to get this. My whole body, I can't describe it. My whole body is covered in a thin layer of sweat. My clothes are damp through and through. And when I say I'd like to do this stream naked, that's not. I'm not exaggerating. I would like to do this stream naked. I'm not going to, but I would like to do this stream just to keep the sweat down. I mean, I've got 3 fans running on me at the moment, including that big portable fan, which is blowing up my trouser leg at the moment. Because only men will understand this, right? Sweaty bollocks are an absolute nightmare, aren't they? When you get sweaty bollocks, it's like they're right your back. So we'll give it another 6 minutes, Mickey, if it's all right with you, and then I'll. You're getting used to this streaming like now, aren't you?
Yeah, I was. I still get a bit nervous, to be fair, and get a bit tongue-tied. But yeah, I'm getting used to it now. It's I quite enjoy it, to be fair.
You just got to be you, mate. You just got to be you.
Yeah.
That's the important thing, and we really will. I had a holiday booked in Spain for the 9th of September. We were going to. Where were we going to? I'll tell you where we were going to. We were going to. Hang on. Let me just call it up. We were going to. We were going on the Costa Brava. We were going to somewhere I've never been before. Hang on. Calella. Have you ever heard of Calella?
Yeah, it's just down the coast from Lloret de Mar, I think.
Yeah. It's not far wrong. Yeah, Lloret de Mar. My parents used to take me there as a child. But we were going to Calella, Miami Park Hotel for a week in Calella. But with the COVID increasing, I cancelled it last night.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, we went by EasyJet, and the good news about EasyJet is that everything we paid, as long as you cancel within 28 days, and we did within 28 days, they won't give you your money back, right? But what they do is they give you a credit that you can use for up to 12 months.
Oh, that's all right.
So we haven't actually lost anything. So we're probably looking at Canary Islands now in March, April, May next year, in the hope that COVID has gone down by then. But with the increase in COVID, I decided it would be too soon to try it.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened to me when I came back from Spain, Steve? You know,
it was you and Emma. Do you know Emma, Jay?
No, I don't. And Kaz came back from Mexico as well.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
She came back with it. A lot of people I've spoken. Somebody I spoke to come back from Portugal. They got it.
Yeah.
Whether it's coincidental or not, I doubt it.
No, so I decided not to risk it. So I've actually cancelled my holiday in Spain. I didn't tell anybody on the internet that I was going away in Spain. We deliberately, when we decided to do this, when me and Sean decided to do this, we weren't going to publish it on the internet because you know what it's like, especially on Facebook. I get crowds of people telling me that I'm stupid and I'm taking a chance and I don't want to be doing it. I didn't want to be bothered with it. I was going to let you know. I was going to actually let you know when we were out in Spain. I was going to say, look, we're out in Spain. Because I've got to admit, Mickey, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not a jealous person. I've never been jealous. Well, I am jealous, yeah. But I'm not. No, I'm not envious. Right? I don't resent.
Yeah.
It's like you going on holiday and Kaz going on holiday in Mexico. I'm jealous, but I don't resent you for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I absolutely understand.
I'm the sort of person that says, go on holiday, enjoy yourself, have a good time. I'm glad you can. I can't, but I'm glad you can.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's made me a bit pig sick that all of my friends have had holidays and I haven't. Yeah. And you know me, if you've known me for nearly 20 years, you know that I love going away.
Yeah.
And so it's made me a bit
Tenerife again next year then, mate.
Well, Tenerife is my favourite island, but there's other ones.
You get up Friday, it's nice and cool, you won't have your sweats.
I've never been to Fuerteventura.
No, I haven't. I've been to the other 3. main ones, but not been afforded. Reckon it's very windy down there.
Well, you know, me after a kebab, I'm very windy. I've not been to Fuerteventura, so I do fancy that. I've been to Gran Canaria, which is great. The Jumbo Centre is Gran Canaria, the Jumbo Centre. What an experience!
Daytime shopping centre, night time, it's another fucking life.
You've got to go. If you don't do anything else in Gran Canaria, you've got to go to the Jumbo Centre.
Oh,
when we were out there,
loved it. She loved it.
When we were out there in 2019, our hotel actually overlooked the Jumbo Centre.
Oh no!
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely. Do you know what? I felt like cross-dressing when we were out there just to join in.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
When we went there, we went. Pride Week was just finishing when we got there. Oh my fucking god, man! It's so funny because we walk around there in the daytime. It's like a shopping centre.
Yeah.
But as soon as it gets dark, oh my god!
It's absolutely the best place. It is so gay.
Yeah.
But it's so gay, but it's so non-gay.
Yeah. I mean, we sat in this place called Ricky's.
I know Ricky's.
Right up in the corner there. Yeah, we sat in there because it's like a drag bar, isn't it?
That's exactly where we were.
Oh, it's an absolutely fantastic place. That was so.
They have little games that they come out with, like Connect Four on the table.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
Just almost opposite the all-you-can-eat Chinese.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly where we sat. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, Ricky. So we had a great time, but it's so gay that it's entertainment, and you don't have to be gay to be part of it, do you?
No.
But I love Gran Canaria for that respect. I love Tenerife because of Mount Teide. Going up to the top of Mount Teide is wow.
I like Lanzarote, to be fair. That was the first time I've been in the wife ever had.
Lanzarote's like going on holiday on a bit of burnt wheat.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you go up the mountain there, and they're actually cooking fish on the volcano at the top. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, your Fire Mountain. Yeah. But no, I've Lanzarote is seriously. It's like going on holiday on a bit of burnt toast. It
Fucking
really is.
sand, mate, is black. I burnt. And it's story for. We lay there on the beach, and I'm sort of dozing, and Donna's on like the sunbed next to me, and I get a tap on the shoulder, and I open my arm, open my eyes, and there's this old Chinese woman. She must have been fucking 90 if a day, asking me, no teeth, asking me if I wanted a massage. So
I bet you thought you'd scored.
I looked at Donna, she looked at me, and I turned around to this woman and said, do you do a happy ending? To which I got a slap off Donna, and I had to decline, I'm afraid.
Right, it's gone 11:30, Mickey.
Yeah, we'll call it a night.
We're going to call it a night. So to all of you on YouTube, which is no viewers.
No.
To all of you on Facebook, which is no viewers.
No viewers. And 6.
To all of you on Twitter or Twitch, which is no viewers.
And 6 on Reddit.
And we've got 6 on Reddit.
Yeah.
However, when I get when I end the stream, Mickey, I'll get the true figures that tell me we've got 6 currently watching. But when I end the stream, I'll get the true figures of how many people have actually watched. And you'll probably find it's in the hundreds because people have been dipping in and out.
Yeah.
So until Monday night,
yes.
I will see you later.
Yeah.
Are you around on Monday night?
Yes, I am now because I'm retired.
Right. Okay. How do you fancy coming on with Jason?
With Boaty? Yeah. We'll see if we can fit that in. Yeah, we can do that.
We'll see what we can do. All right. Yeah. We'll see what we can do. All right. So until Monday night, I will put up my goodbye screen, which will tell you, because of COVID, there's going to be no pub stream for the foreseeable future on a Sunday night because I can't risk going out to the pub anymore. I'm going to have to knock that on the head. So until Monday, I will see you all later. Mickey, don't go. We're in the stream. Don't go.
Yeah, right.
I will see you all later.